Have you ever felt a moment that seems to ripple through your being, as though the universe itself paused to nudge you awake? These are the whispers that gently shake you from slumber, the signs that appear just when you're most open to receiving them. The call to transform isn't always a loud roar. Often, it's a faint murmur. It's the warm current you feel on a still day, the glint of sunlight breaking through an overcast sky. And perhaps you've been waiting for this message, this reminder that you are not adrift. You are precisely where you need to be, and this moment is the divine whisper you've been longing to hear. When life feels heavy, when old patterns drag at your heels, it can be easy to overlook these gentle cues. Yet they arrive in the quietest of moments, when your heart softens, your defenses drop, and your mind opens to the possibility of something greater. They come in the form of sudden clarity, the song lyric that stirs your soul, the unexpected conversation that feels oddly purposeful. And when these whispers reach you, they carry with them a truth that is both deeply personal and universally profound. You are on the threshold of a new beginning. As we explore the path ahead, remember that this isn't about striving for perfection. It's about tuning in to those subtle nudges, the ones that draw you closer to your authentic self. It's about allowing yourself to believe that you are, in fact, guided, that the challenges you've faced and the dreams you've held onto are part of a divine design. If this message resonates with you, if you feel that undeniable sense of alignment, I encourage you to leave a 77 in the comments below. Let it be a sign to yourself that you are ready to embrace the change that's calling you. You're not here by accident. You're here because it's time to step into the life you were always meant to live. Recognizing the call to change. Change rarely announces itself with fanfare. Instead, it arrives subtly, often disguised as a sense of restlessness or an inner knowing that something no longer fits. You may find yourself questioning long-held beliefs or feeling drawn to places, people, or pursuits that once seemed foreign. These subtle shifts aren't random. They are the gentle pull of your inner compass, realigning you with your highest path. Have you noticed how certain patterns keep repeating in your life? Perhaps a particular struggle or challenge reappears, each time urging you to approach it differently. This is not a mistake. It's the universe's way of calling your attention, urging you to grow. The signs can be as simple as waking up each morning with a new perspective, or feeling a quiet nudge to move in a different direction. Sometimes you might encounter synchronicities. A phrase you just read mirrors your own thoughts, a stranger's comment resonates deeply, or an opportunity arrives just when you need it most. These aren't coincidences. They are signposts pointing toward change. Recognizing the call to change requires attentiveness. It means pausing long enough to hear that still, small voice within. It means trusting your instincts, even when they lead you into unfamiliar territory. This is the essence of spiritual growth, learning to discern between the noise of everyday life and the whispers of your higher self. And once you start to listen, you'll notice how the pieces begin to fall into place. The road ahead may not always be clear, but the call itself will be unmistakable. By honoring these inner promptings, you're not just embracing change, you're stepping into the next chapter of your divine journey, overcoming resistance to growth. Resistance is a natural part of growth. It's that heavy feeling in your chest when you consider stepping out of your comfort zone, that voice in your mind that says, maybe tomorrow. Growth requires effort, and effort can be uncomfortable. Yet it's precisely this discomfort that signals transformation is near. Think of resistance as a threshold, a barrier you must cross to move forward. Why does resistance show up? Often, it's rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown. These fears whisper that staying in the familiar, even if it's unsatisfying, is safer than venturing into uncharted territory. They tell you that change might lead to loss, that the risks outweigh the rewards. But here's the truth. Those whispers are not the voice of your higher self. They're remnants of old conditioning, echoes of past experiences that no longer serve you. To overcome resistance, start by acknowledging it. Don't push it away or pretend it's not there. Instead, name it. When you can identify what you're afraid of, you begin to loosen its grip. Next, take small, deliberate steps toward growth. You don't need to leap all at once. Even a single step in the direction of your dreams can begin to dissipate the fog of doubt. Remind yourself of past times when you faced resistance and prevailed. Each time you overcame a challenge, you grew stronger. Use those victories as fuel to keep going. One of the most powerful ways to move through resistance is to reframe it. Instead of seeing it as a roadblock, view it as a teacher. Resistance highlights where you have room to grow, where you need to let go of limiting beliefs. It pushes you to examine what you truly want and to commit fully to your path. When you understand resistance as a natural part of transformation, it no longer holds power over you. Instead, it becomes a signal that you're on the edge of something meaningful. Remember that growth isn't about erasing resistance, it's about moving through it. With each step, each small act of courage, you build momentum. You prove to yourself that you can handle change, that you're strong enough to embrace the new. And as you do, you'll find that the resistance that once seemed so daunting gradually fades. In its place, you'll discover clarity, confidence, and a profound sense of purpose. The wisdom of your inner child. Think back to the moments when your world was wide open, when the boundaries between reality and imagination didn't seem to exist. Your inner child was a master creator, unencumbered by fear or doubt. They dreamed freely, believed wholeheartedly, and saw the world not as it was but as it could be. This isn't a distant memory. It's a part of you, a core truth that still resides within. The wisdom of your inner child is not simply about innocence. It's about clarity. That child had a vision, a sense of knowing, even if they couldn't articulate it. They understood the power of joy, the strength in curiosity, and the freedom in authenticity. They weren't afraid to explore, to ask questions, or to believe in their own magic. As life moved on, layers of expectation, disappointment, and fear might have clouded that clarity. Yet the inner child never left. Their wisdom persists, patiently waiting for you to rediscover it. When you reconnect with this part of yourself, you remember how to dream without limits and love without hesitation. The wisdom of your inner child teaches you to see challenges as adventures, setbacks as temporary, and the unknown as a playground for discovery. They remind you that the essence of who you are has always been whole, powerful, and capable of creating a life aligned with your deepest truths. By honoring their voice, you tap into a wellspring of inner strength and guidance that propels you forward on your path. The role of challenges in transformation. Transformation is rarely smooth. Challenges often emerge at the exact moment you decide to grow. This is not a coincidence. Growth requires discomfort, and discomfort arises when you move beyond the familiar. These challenges are not punishments, they are invitations. They force you to look at parts of yourself you might prefer to ignore, to confront fears you thought you'd buried, and to develop qualities you never knew you had. In truth, challenges are the catalysts for change. Without them, you might remain in the same patterns, never fully stepping into your potential. Every obstacle you face offers an opportunity to shift your perspective. When you encounter resistance, it's a sign that you're stretching, evolving, and moving closer to your authentic self. Challenges build resilience, teach patience, and deepen your understanding of what truly matters. They strip away illusions and push you to redefine your limits. Embrace these moments, even when they feel overwhelming. They are not the end of the journey, they are the path itself. By navigating challenges with courage and grace, you unlock a deeper level of growth and alignment, paving the way for a more authentic and fulfilling life. Following the signs and synchronicities. Have you ever noticed how, at just the right moment, something appears, a symbol, a phrase, a chance encounter, that seems to confirm your deepest feelings? These synchronicities are not random. They are the universe's way of speaking directly to you, reassuring you that you're not alone and that you're on the right track. Following these signs requires a quiet attentiveness, a willingness to look beyond the surface and trust your intuition. When you see a recurring number, hear a song lyric that feels directed at you, or find yourself in the exact place you need to be without knowing why, These are not mere coincidences. They are breadcrumbs laid out by a higher intelligence, leading you closer to your true path. To follow these signs is not simply to observe them, but to act on them. When a door opens, walk through it. When a message resonates, explore it. Trust that these moments are guiding you toward the life you're meant to live. The more you tune into these synchronicities, the more frequently they appear, building a dialogue between you and the universe. This dialogue strengthens your faith, sharpens your instincts, and deepens your connection to the unseen forces that guide your journey. By recognizing and honoring these signs, you align more fully with your purpose, transforming uncertainty into clarity and hesitation into action. Trusting the journey ahead. Trusting the journey ahead is not simply about waiting passively for things to unfold. It is about surrendering to the process, despite not having all the answers. It's about moving forward with faith, even when the path seems unclear, and accepting that the process of growth requires both action and patience. The path ahead will not always be visible, and sometimes you will find yourself walking through periods of darkness. But the very act of trusting the journey is what transforms uncertainty into opportunity. You may be in a phase where the road ahead is foggy and you can't see where it's leading. At times, it might feel like you're walking in circles, that every step you take only leads you back to where you began. Yet, within the fog of uncertainty, there is profound growth happening. Trusting this process means releasing your attachment to the outcome. It means surrendering your need for control and acknowledging that the universe has its own perfect timing. Trusting the journey is about being comfortable with not knowing what's next and finding peace in the unknown. Consider the metaphor of a river. Rivers don't force their flow. They simply move forward through rocks, hills, and valleys, taking the shape of the terrain they encounter. They don't question where they are going. They trust the natural course of their movement. Just like the river, you must trust that where you are now is exactly where you need to be. Life is unfolding in perfect harmony, even when it doesn't feel that way. In those moments of doubt, remind yourself that every experience, whether it feels positive or negative, is contributing to your growth. Every step you take, even if it's uncertain, brings you closer to your highest self. But trust is not about blind faith. It's also about listening to your intuition and following it. When you truly trust the journey, you begin to recognize that your inner guidance is always available. This guidance doesn't shout or demand your attention. It speaks quietly, sometimes in a fleeting thought, a gut feeling, or a sudden clarity. The more you practice listening to it, the easier it becomes to discern your true path. Trust is an internal knowing that comes from being aligned with your deepest essence, knowing that every challenge and obstacle you face is an invitation to rise to your fullest potential. As you trust the journey, you also learn to embrace the pauses. There will be moments when you feel you're standing still, but don't mistake these pauses for stagnation. Sometimes, the most important thing you can do is simply be. Growth happens not just through action, but through stillness, contemplation, and introspection. In these moments of pause, you give yourself the opportunity to recalibrate, to reflect on how far you've come, and to prepare for the next phase of the journey. Without these moments of quiet, you would never have the clarity needed to continue forward with strength and purpose. You must trust that the universe has a bigger plan than you can see right now. Often, things must unfold in a certain order, and this order may not always make sense in the moment. Trusting the journey ahead means recognizing that the universe is not only taking you to your destination, it is preparing you for that destination. It's shaping you, molding you, and refining you in ways you might not even notice. But these subtle shifts, these micro-adjustments, will ultimately lead you to the place you are meant to be. You may not understand the full picture yet, but when you look back, you will see how every moment, every challenge, every triumph was an integral part of your transformation. So, as you step forward into the unknown, remember, every step is part of the process. Trust the journey, and trust yourself to handle whatever comes your way. You are capable, you are strong, and you are worthy of everything that's unfolding. Stay open, stay aligned, and most importantly, stay true to your inner knowing. Embracing new beginnings fully. Starting anew is an exciting yet daunting prospect. It asks you to leave behind what is familiar, comfortable, and safe, but it also offers you the opportunity to create something entirely different. Embracing a new beginning means accepting the discomfort that comes with change and using it as the catalyst for personal growth. It requires courage, faith, and an open heart. When we begin something new, there's often an instinctual urge to look back, to compare the present moment with the past. We measure our progress against previous milestones, even if those benchmarks no longer serve us. But to truly embrace a new beginning, you must let go of the old ways of thinking. You must stop comparing who you were to who you are becoming. A new beginning is an entirely different experience. It's not a continuation of the past, but a reimagining of what's possible. Embracing new beginnings fully is about shifting your mindset. Instead of seeing the unfamiliar as something to fear, begin to view it as an adventure. This mindset shift allows you to approach change with excitement rather than anxiety. When you step into the unknown with curiosity and a sense of wonder, you begin to see every new moment as an opportunity. You stop seeing challenges as obstacles and instead recognize them as opportunities for growth. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every failure an opportunity to learn and improve. The fear of the unknown is natural, but it doesn't have to control you. Recognizing this fear and moving forward anyway is what makes the difference. When you fully embrace a new beginning, you release the attachment to how things were supposed to be. Instead of holding tightly to old expectations, you open your arms wide to whatever comes next. This surrender to the unknown is not a defeat, it's a victory. It's the realization that you don't need to control every detail in order to move forward. Trusting that life will unfold as it should allows you to move through change with grace. As you embrace this new chapter, remember that it's not about perfection, it's about authenticity. The most important thing is to show up as yourself, without the fear of judgment or failure. You may stumble, you may falter, but this is the nature of growth. Embracing new beginnings means embracing your imperfections. You are not required to be flawless. You are only required to be real, to be true to who you are and what you are meant to become. With every new beginning comes a chance to rewrite your story. You have the power to decide who you want to be, what you want to achieve, and how you want to experience life. Don't be afraid to leave behind the limitations of the past and step into the fullness of your potential. The universe is ready to support you in this new chapter if you're willing to trust it. Conclusion: you are ready to shine. As you step into the unknown, know that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. This is not a coincidence. It's the culmination of everything you've experienced, everything you've learned, and everything you've been. You have spent years becoming who you are today, and now you stand on the threshold of something extraordinary. The road ahead is not always easy, but it is yours to walk. The transformation you've undergone has prepared you for this moment, and you are ready. Shining doesn't mean being perfect. It means being unapologetically you. It means stepping into your full power and letting the world see the unique light you've always carried within you. It's time to stop hiding, to stop playing small, and to start showing up for your life in the biggest, boldest way possible. The journey has not been easy, but you have grown stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true purpose. And now, the world is waiting for you to share your gifts. You have everything you need to succeed. You have the courage, the wisdom, and the inner strength to create the life you've always dreamed of. The key is to continue trusting yourself, to keep showing up even when it feels uncertain, and to let go of the past in order to step fully into your future. Embrace the journey with all its twists and turns, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Remember, you were born for this. Your light is needed in the world. The time to shine is now. Embrace it with open arms and let the world see you as you truly are: powerful, radiant, and full of limitless potential. Step forward and shine, for this is the beginning of the rest of your extraordinary life. You are ready.